kind of Supreme Court that you got. You're going to get the kind of 4 different positions on civil rights that you get from them. You're going to get tax breaks for the wealthy. You're going to get a guy that doesn't know what a grocery store scanner is and everything else, okay? So let's go. We got 6 more days to go. And don't forget who the real enemy is in here. And don't forget what we really campaign against. Thank y'all very much.
Don't forget, we haven't. James Carville there speaking in the 92 New Hampshire primary, and Bill Kristol, veteran Republican White House's founder, director, Defending Democracy Together. Big election day. Bill, I saw you shaking your head around. What do you want to say?
That was harsh to begin with that, and then to show it again. You showed it at the beginning of the segment with James, and it's wonderful to see James when he was young, or maybe not quite as old as he is now. But I worked for the guy who didn't know what a grocery scanner was,
and yet here you both are.
I mean, I don't really love reliving 1992 quite as much as my friend James.
Why would you want to relive it? Well, how about you relive this?
That's okay.
How about you relive this, Bill? We finally got the views of some voters. There is no replacement for listening. Rather than all the talking, myself included. And we'll put back up a third of these diehard evangelical Republicans who turned out in the snow say, last night as they walked in, they say, conviction, no thank you, Bill.
Yeah, I want to echo James's praise to the voters. Just at one point before getting to this, the Iowa vote, I wish, more Iowa voters had voted against Trump, that it had been over 50% instead of 49. I wish more of them had voted for Haley, actually, so she had a second place finish. But having said that, a heck of a lot more Iowa voters rejected Trump than elected Republican officials have. Much, right? What percentage of Republican members of Congress were at 110 endorsements for Trump? I think 5 for DeSantis and 1 for Haley or something. The voters at least have some willingness to resist, some willingness to say, wait a second. The Republican elected officials, the conservative elites, much less. So I think I'm happy to criticize Republican voters that got a lot of things wrong over the last several years, and maybe a few before even, but it's the elites that have really fallen down. And the cowardice of the elected officials over the last week, preemptively capitulating to Trump before the vote, before their own state has voted. Someone like Mike Rogers running in Michigan, a moderate Republican congressman from the old days, going out of his way to endorse Trump. Michigan's going to vote in a month. He could have waited. No. So again, I sort of give the voters a little bit of a pass on this, in a sense. And I think that number about the conviction, who knows? I mean, who knows what would happen in the real world, and how much Trump could delegitimize the cases, whether there'll be a conviction, it'll be on appeal, it'll be murky. I mean, there are a million things to say. But you mentioned James Comey earlier. James Comey cost Hillary Clinton the election in 2016. That was not a conviction. That was not an indictment, right? That was a front page news story about the possibility of the emails kind of coming back as a problem for Hillary Clinton. So could a trial and a conviction here in D.C. on the January 6th case, which brings January 6th back front and center, make a difference of a couple of percentage points? Yeah.
Yeah. James?
Well, there's other data that supports that conclusion. They've asked a conviction, and data says that a conviction would matter. That's not isolated data. But I want to take this point because I know Bill's wife is from Louisiana, and this is carnival season, and I know she's watching. So just so you feel at home here, I thought I'd put on a little headgear while we're doing the show. But no, that's true. And when a jury comes back, Washington, D.C. is like any place else. They have plumbers. They have wallpaper hangers. They have dental hygienists. They have hotel maids. And a D.C. jury is going to look very much like a Sioux City, Iowa jury would look. And it's going to have, I think it'll have weight with voters. I really do. It's not just going to be Bay Street lobbyists.
Right. And I think embedded in it is still a view out in the heartland, if you want to call it that the jury system, the courts, a jury of your peers, that would matter. Because when you say, oh, the conviction matters, it means you think that matters. And maybe there's, a lot more skepticism of other sources of information. We can have that conversation over and over, and the internet and the lies and all that. But at the end of the day, what you just said, James, if 12 people agree on that and that's a conviction, then yeah, maybe that person shouldn't be returned to the White House. And that still counts. I want to play because some folks.
One thing,
go ahead.
You know who agrees with that? Donald Trump. What does this make? What is he doing in D.C.? Desperately trying to delay the trial. even at some cost to his good relations with the judge or the credibility of his lawyers, because some of these motions are a little ridiculous. He does not want this trial to happen this year, and I think he's hoping to delay it enough so that the Supreme Court perhaps says in May, June, well, we can't begin a trial now. It's already on the verge of the conventions and then the general election. So I think Trump is worried, about what we're talking about.